This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning everybody. Welcome to Djuma Private Game Reserve here in Sabi, South Africa this morning. And we are sitting here at the Kari Dam looking at the Egyptian geese and also checking around. This is actually beginning of the drive for this morning today, so just gonna see what we're gonna find around here, because Kalamba also was seen in this area. So if you jump aboard to your very own live safari through the African bush. Good morning everybody once again. So we are here at the Kari Dam. Nothing much that is actually around because it's still very morning and cold. So I believe everybody must still hiding or still preparing to get mobile and search around for their food. But Kalamba, so she was around here maybe last night. And this is where we're going to start to check around for her, see if maybe we can find her. So my name is Andrew and I have BK on camera this morning. So this is where we're going to begin check for our Princess Kalamba. See if we can find her. And it's extremely cold actually, winter, especially this morning, sitting on a 10 degrees Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit, and so that everybody will coming to you live from these locations. We're all looking forward or hope to hear from you all. We love your comments and questions. If you can send them through hashtag WildEarth on Twitter, as well as at FC on YouTube. Those are the under the age of 18 years old. You can still pop us an email on kidsquestions@wildearth.com.tv, sorry. And simple way is to actually go on WildEarth website. You head over to the Safari Live and then you can send your question there. So I'm gonna reverse, take the other road back there. And it looks like this morning, myself and Lauren, also Prideland, that will be probably will be entertaining everybody this morning. And let's quickly take a look at the weathers on all of our different locations. So now I'm gonna check Tundem Road, and then just gonna check for her tracks, because it's easy if she walk along the road, then we can able to see that. But also I believe hyena, they may be always behind her, because so looks like we're searching on a very good direction, because she was seen coming this way from the location of the dams. So BK's got a tracks on his side, so she's been in this road. So we're just gonna keep concentrating on his tracks. Some places not easy, but we're gonna try. We don't lose the tracks, otherwise we'll lose the animal. Okay, just quickly update about the wild dogs on the Sandy Page heading south. So I'm gonna try make my way there. There was a report, so we'll probably find out when we get there. But the dogs, well, I haven't actually seen a dog in a while, so that'll be really cool. So, Urina, you're asking what season we're at in South Africa at the moment. So, we're in a winter. So, we're heading into August, but it's still cold. And then by September, October, it's going to be pretty much the end of the colder season for us. There, it's going to be just mixed. In the morning, you feel that cold. Also, about 9 o'clock, and then the warm take place quite quickly. So I'm gonna make my way to the area where they saw the dogs. So it's actually slightly far from here, because we're around quarantine, so it's still in the area. And then that position where they saw the dogs, almost close to the Gary Gate there. So it may take us probably a little while to get there, but we will eventually get there.
morning, everyone. My name is Lauren. I do have Davi on camera. And we are just sitting on quarantine. A male leopard walked right through camp. Literally right past our rooms. The tracks are piping hot and we heard lots of alarm calls. They sounded like bushbuck. Bushbuck have got quite a strange sort of alarm call. And it's not as deep as the kuru and it's not as snorty as the impala. And Andrew, come in. Andrew, no one's with the Madash, they were just spotted. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Djuma on this very chilly day. It's not warm, but the sun is going up. My name is Lauren. We do have Davi on camera, and we're just sitting at quarantine right now. A male leopard walked right through our camp, literally through the rooms, right past our rooms. The tracks are piping hot, fresh, and we could hear alarm calls. It sounded like bushbuck. So we've looked around Gallagher Pan. There's a male leopard somewhere. I think, and again, you should never speculate. Really, you shouldn't, because you don't know. My guess would be Tingana. He loves to just stroll through our camp, taking it easy. He knows his camp. But I guess it could be any male leopard. We don't have much to go on. If it's Mulwati, then it's most likely going to be a dead end. But of course, if it's Tingana, then we can possibly catch up with them. So that's our plan to scratch around. We are outside camp right now. We can't go anywhere right now. So we're going to sit here and hopefully then we can get out and look around to see if it is the Duke of Djuma. Kalamba was also seen on the damn cam, as you know. But to be honest, she could be miles away by now. Miles and miles. We'll try and pick up on any signs of her. But that cat walks great distances through the night. She was believed to be headed on Twin Dams Road, so she really could be anywhere, but we'll scratch around. 2 dogs have been spotted, we've informed Andrew. But mobile dogs are not the easiest to keep up with. It's nice to just listen to the sounds of the morning. All the birds sing, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I made it through the night and this is still my territory. Don't even think about coming onto my branch. We forget that birds are territory holders too sometimes, because we think about territories in terms of mammals. Davi, are you dancing to the bird calls? Yeah. Davi's dancing to the bird calls. Okay, we're going to head back to camp for a moment or two, and we are going to send you guys over to Andrew.
There with Lawrence. So everybody was still making our way to that last location there, where the dog was seen running to the south. So, and then accordingly, it looks like nobody with them. So they were just seen by somebody, and then we're just gonna go look around. It's quite slightly open area there, but if they have to move maybe more south, just gonna keep along the road just to check. If they ever use the roads, it means then they were probably in a mission. So just to check which one, that would be great if you find them, because there's a Pungwe packs which are more likely to be to the west, northwest of us, and there's a Sands packs as well. But yeah, there hasn't been any dog around here for a little while there. Everybody is so excited, and then I was really happy to find them. But these dogs, they have a lot of energies, but I'm really hoping to find them. Already arrived into the area, but I'm not actually expecting. I'm just going to start where they saw them, and it might be slightly maybe far from here because they always run, these dogs. Usually festings. And you're asking, how can we tell whether whether the tracks are fresh? So the weather is the first thing, so you check in it. So if it's been a wind, I'm just going to check some tracks here. If it's been a wind in the day, then you know your tracks are quite clear looking, then you know they're fresh. But also if nothing has walk on top of the tracks, then you know it's fresh. So, but also a lot of insect sort of beetles, those are line ants, which those are the one also you can able to look if none of these have crawled around on top of that track, and then you still have a trust that you would find that animal, because maybe it's been maybe an hour or half an hour that animal have walked into that area. In the morning, it's about the same, where a lot of animals move around pretty much, but the cats use the roads, and you see the tracks, and all you do, you spend time with those tracks before you can say they are fresh. You're more likely to see all these tracks on top of the many of the tracks, and you know that could be fresh. Also when the ground is wet, so there's quite a few things you can have a look at that. So the last update they were saying they were heading south, so we're on a Impala Road heading south, and then we're just going to drive straight there. If we don't come across nothing along this road, we'll be doing the boundary, the western boundary, back to the north, kind of. Peter, you're asking why there are two of them, not all the rest of the pegs, and where would they be? Well, I'm not even sure which pegs are these yet. So, but if it's the pegs that we know, there are a lot of them in a group. It happens that they've been separated due to the hunt, just like what were happening to the Lioness last night, where they can lost from one another. Or maybe they might denning somewhere where when they hunt may take a turns in the pegs. Some would go to hunt, some would stay with these puppies, and then so they would take turn that way. Or you find that they were just not far from the other group, so that nobody saw them. They only saw these two. There's no sign of a tracks yet, yeah.
One thing that WildEarth strives to achieve is to connect kids with our natural world. One person who agrees with this is Kate, an 11-year-old girl who founded Kids Can Save Animals, to help inspire her generation to help mend the planet. Her motto is that kids may be young, but age does not define your impact. Kate is coming all the way from America to join us at Djuma for a live safari. She wants to connect with all of the WildEarth kids, answer your questions, and help you understand that there are plenty of ways that you can make a difference regardless of your age. So join us on the 4th of August at 2:30 p.m. Central African Time for a very special kids safari.
Hi, I'm Nikki, your guide here at andBeyond in Ngala. So my favorite animal in the African bush definitely has to be the zebra, because like people, with our fingerprints, every single zebra has a different stripe pattern. And, of course, a group of zebras together is called the dazzle. How unique is that? Come and join me or one of my colleagues here in Ngala for a sunrise and sunset safari on WildEarth.
This is a battle of two great carnivores of the African wilderness. Whew. Whoa! You don't want to be under those jaws. Definitely, this round goes to the lion. Look at that. Fantastic.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at andBeyond in Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through andBeyond in Ngala on WildEarth. Send me live questions through the WildEarth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush.
We've caught up with the male leopard tracks. Go north on Gallagher shortcut, which really makes me think it's Tingana now. These cars are not easy to do U-turns in. If it's Gallagher shortcut, this is a road that Tingana's always on. He's not territorial anymore, but he's a creature of habit for sure. But we're very close to the sort of Buffelshoek cut line now. The alarm calls were when we were doing checks. So what that tells you immediately is that predator that was seen was constantly mobile. So in this space of time that we had to dash back to camp, male leopard has come up Gallagher shortcut, but you never know. We might get lucky. I'm just going to drive really, really slowly. Tingana likes to take little rest stops. Hey, walk. Sit down, walk, sit down. Davi, can you just check your... no, I've got him. Sorry, I've got him. Being able to spot tracks has a lot to do with the angle of the sun as well. Oh, many of you are excited. I wouldn't get too excited just yet. Sometimes when you're behind the animal, if he crosses into Buffelshoek, we will not follow, I'm afraid. And we're very close to the Buffelshoek boundary now. But let's stay positive. It might not be Tingana. I really try to avoid doing that when you see the track and you haven't got any prior knowledge that it could be this particular individual or wasn't seen on the dam cam or seen by someone else. I do try to avoid giving the tracks a name, but it's likely to be Tingus. Davi, can you just check your side? I've not got them on my side anymore. You don't see them? Okay, that means that he's cut off somewhere. Heather, we're not entirely sure about the exact age of Tingana, but he is estimated to be at around 15 now. He's obviously a dispersal male, so he dispersed to this area. So he wasn't known to us as a small cub, but he's estimated to be around 15. Which is very, very old for a leopard, and he's still thriving. And that's why he's gone nomadic. It just benefits him. You got them. It's very difficult for me to see the other side of the car. He'll probably save a lot of energy not being territorial. He's just reached that stage in his life. There's always different stages to life. And for Tingana's now, he's gone nomadic. And that is really not a bad thing. He just moves in and out of all the territories that don't belong to him and just stays silent. He knows. Tingana knows this land better than anybody here. He knows exactly what males are around, who his competitors are, what their chemical signature is. He knows all the males around here. He knows what to avoid, what not to avoid, when to run, when to freeze. Tingana knows this land. We're getting closer and closer to Buffelshoek cut line. This is not looking too promising, but let's see. Nikki, yes, very possibly. He's not advertising himself, so maybe... Ah, what's that? Who's this? Hello. I knew it was you, you handsome thing. Are you still mating? Ah, I knew it was Tinky. You just like to show off to the viewers. You're going the opposite way from the track, so he's turned back on himself, thankfully. Okay, he's coming very close to the car right now. So I'm just going to sit tight. Hello, Tinkus. I love you. Did you hear that? He said, I love you too. Did you hear that? Okay, U-turns on this road are really difficult. Davi, Tinky for the win. Wendy's steering doesn't turn for some reason. Yeah. Davi's got his tom-tom mode on. Driving these cars keeps my arms nice and toned. Okay, I am gonna call this in now, everyone. Tinky, don't go into this block. This is not going to be the easiest of all missions, but we'll do our best. Tingana, why are you going in this block? Okay, Davi. Hold on, we'll do our very, very best, but this is what we call a nightmare block. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up with the Duke.
So we still bumming around here, hoping to find these dog tracks. Hopefully. This is the boundary we're going to travel in, so it's a main road. Everybody's going to drive past it. It's a huge truck. This is a main road, so sorry about that. Trying to go back to the tracks that I thought I'd seen them here. Maybe this is when they cross in. I could see a couple of tracks of these dogs, and maybe they came from the west across into Djuma. So I'm not going to waste much time here because actually maybe a long time gone. So I will be checking to the north towards the gate in case they maybe change directions. More than 2 dogs here on the tracks. So we saw a little bit of these tracks. It seems to be these dogs that came from the west into Djuma from this position of the Triple M, and I saw 3 tracks, so maybe there was not 2 there. Maybe it could be more there. this road here, checking for more feathered tracks. In the meantime, I'm going to be sending you across to Lauren with the Tingana, the leopard.
Good luck, Andrew. Wild dogs are not easy, but they do go flat at some point. Just like my handsome Duke here, the Duke of Djuma. Tingana, you walked right past my bedroom. Do you know that? Literally right past our bedroom. In between Andrew and I, there's a little path. And he walked right through it. He's so magnificent. Thank goodness he's enjoying the sunshine on this termite mine, because this block, ooh, my car's already in a bad way.
Station for Tingana. Now I'm here on Kalago shortcut. Please give me a shout as soon as you hear my mover.
We can hear you, Mike. Keep coming north. He's gone static on top of Ashidulu.
Okay, copy, thanks.
I'll tell you when to stop. Sir 50, you're saying nice to see him on his throne, for sure. Last station, go again. Absolutely. He's just so magnificent.
Mike, stand by.
Tristan and I were discussing about just how fabulous he's looking, his condition, his muscle, his physique, his everything. Now, once the other vehicle gets in, it's great news, because it means I can turn my radio off. We're the only one on lock. And lots of people want to see Tingana. Mike, stop there. I can see your mover.
Copy. I book you.
Okay, I'm going to turn my engine on, but we can see you. There we go. That's how we let other people get a direction of sound. I think he's seen us. He's coming in. Perfect, Tingana. You've got other visitors. Oh, he's just so magnificent. And I went through a long period of time without actually getting to spend any time with Tingana, believe it or not. Everyone else got lucky because he's not here all the time. His movements, although they echo his old patterns, his old territorial behaviour, they have changed. I mean, Tingana's now found in Arathusa regularly. He's wandering into Simbambili, in Koro, Cheetah Plains, Chitwa, Little Gowrie. I mean, he's moving. And this is because he's just not territorial. He's silently weaving through other males' territory. It's a bit risky, but at the same time, a territorial boundary has different layers to it. It's not one fixed thing. There's different layers. There's a core area, the primary area, the tertiary area, and the sort of boundary line. And they actively define these parts differently. And it's literally just an odor fence. It's completely penetrable. If Tingana knows, this is Mawati's territory, but hey, I don't care. I'm still going to go in. It's really... He can. Nothing's stopping him from moving into other males' territories. He's just not advertising his presence. Staying silent. So he has the knowledge, this is Mawati's territory, but Mawati doesn't necessarily have the knowledge that he's there. Does that make sense? He's not scent marking, he's not calling. He's very, very much staying on the quiet side. He's using that to his advantage. He was said to have been born around 2007, so I mean, 14, 15. pushing on 15 now is what he's estimated to be in terms of age. And for those of you who are not familiar, Tingana means shy. Look at this. Are you shy? Oh, I'm so happy. Tingana is my old love. I loved this leopard from day one. And he's probably lost a lot of muscle condition, but Tingana's huge. Everyone compares that he's the ballpoint, if you like. He's the marker. Everyone says, but is he, when you're talking about a male leopard, is he as big as Tingana though? Yeah, but is he as big as Tingana? Tingana's the ballpoint figure in terms of size. It's a big male leopard. Leopards don't get as big as lions, remember? We got lucky there, Dwarf, because he turned back on himself. If he'd continued marching, he would have been in Buffelshoek. Virginia, you're saying he's a strong, impressive fella. Yes, he is. Very impressive. And he really knows the land better than anybody here, but he's a predictable old man. I know if I find male leopard tracks on Gallagher Shortcut, it's highly likely to be Tingana. Okay, not always, but it's not because of the shape of his track or anything like that. It's because his movements. Gallagher Shortcut is Tinky's Road. I miss hearing him saw. That used to be one of the sounds that would just send shivers down my spine. I miss that. But it's still so good to see him. And Kalamba was around last night as well, isn't that funny? I wonder what their interaction would be like right now. I don't think Kalamba would take any nonsense. She's turned into quite the feisty little lady. If Tingana tried to steal from her, I think she would swat him one with her paw. They had a really nice relationship for a while. I've had some lovely sightings of Tingana and Kalamba together. And I think Kalamba is the double of her daddy. Not mama, daddy. Matriarch wannabe. Why do you want to be? You can be a matriarch if you want to. You can be anything you want to. Be a matriarch. Be a leader. You're asking about a blood stain on his neck. I don't see anything. I'm looking through a very small monitor, though. Do you, Dwarf? No.
Maybe on the other side.
Maybe on the other side. Maybe you've spotted that for sure. It's very possible. I just haven't picked it out yet. I mean, he's looking well fed, so it's entirely possible. Are you falling asleep, boy? You've got to catch Tingana while it's still cool, because once this cat sleeps, he sleeps. It's so good to see him. And that's what happens after working here a long time. You learn the patterns of animals. Even Kalamba, she has got predictable roads. She's a lot more difficult to find, absolutely. But you do start to really learn, especially with the leopards. The lions is a little bit trickier. But with the leopards here, they definitely have predictable patterns to their movements and their behavior. We do find them in the same trees multiple times with kills. We do see them on the same roads. They do show preference to specific areas. Lions also, they do, but things are shifting with the lion dynamics here. And hyena is the most unpredictable of them all, unless they've got a den. They're very difficult to pin down. But the leopards, you do start to learn these roads and these toot tracks and these just parts of the environment that you know you're going to find that animal. Immediately I saw the face when Davi zoomed in, and immediately you know it's Tingana. He's got the most unusual looking face, I think. I didn't even have to think twice about what leopard it is. And we get asked a lot, what's the spot pattern? What's the spot pattern? I'm going to be honest with you all. I don't know many spot patterns of the leopards. You can find it out on their Facebook page, but it's not really what guides out here use. Not really. I mean, it's logged, it's noted, but it's not what we use to identify them. Not when you're mobile and you're out here on the ground. Lots of leopards have the same spot pattern as well. Not completely unique. Sometimes we'll get asked, what is the spot pattern? I honestly don't know. I know some of them, but it's really not what I would say most guides out here use in order to identify a leopard. Did you see that? Romy, 100%. Absolutely, it must be. No, just not stressful. He knows what he's doing. Tingana knows. He has navigated this landscape. I think he arrived here, if I'm not wrong, around 3 years old. And he made this his domain, made this his territory. He thrived. His territory got bigger and bigger and bigger. He mated with many ladies. He's the confirmed father by Panthera of Tiani, which is a little bit surprising. But as per the SCAT analysis, Tingana is said to be the father of Tiani, the father of Tlalamba. It's not 100% proven, but he's said to be the father of Hosanna. So it's not proven by Panthera. However, when you watch their behavior, he was very tolerant of Hosanna. Those interactions, I miss them. He has been king here, and he still really is. He's still the leopard that everyone wants to see. And yeah, you're right, less stressful. Saving all that energy. Being territorial eats up 26% of a male leopard's budget, and that's an average statistic. He doesn't need to sow, he doesn't need to scent mark. It's actually been a very impressive transition. Get those shoulder blades. These tracks are huge. I mean, when you see a female leopard track, really, they are tiny. They are so small, I can't even begin. They are smaller than you would think they are, if that makes sense. But when you see a male, you know it's a male. And immediately when it's a big male, you can almost guess. Oh, this is Tingana. Okay, Davi and I are definitely not going anywhere. My morning is made.
Suspended above Kenya's Masai Mara is a breathtaking lodge where unrivaled service goes hand in hand with extraordinary wildlife sightings. Gama Mara offers a quiet place where guests have the opportunity to reconnect with the world again. Sign up to be a WildEarth Explorer before the end of July, and you and a friend could win a 3-night stay at this award-winning lodge. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature.
There's a grounding earthiness to this place that we feel in our ancestors. It's a place where, believe it or not, we evolved as a human species, and anyone who's come to Africa will understand that. The connectivity that the continent has to the person and to people's souls is next level. I'm thoroughly looking forward to taking you on your next adventure when we explore all the small and big things.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Looks like it's a very difficult climb because every time it tries to climb, the ground is breaking, so it slides down. But it's the only one. Look at that. That is a call of desperation with a cub. It's like, what are you doing, mommy? Oops. Oof.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Hello, I'm Marna, your WildEarth Safari Guide from andBeyond Ngala. What I really like about connecting with WildEarth viewers is that we get to speak to viewers instantly, and I get to show you this beautiful property. If you want to ask me a question, register on the WildEarth website. Simply head over to the live safari page and you can submit your questions there. Join me or one of the other guides twice a day on WildEarth.
Sorry everybody, I'm still following up on the dogs, but there's been an update that they might be around in this area. So, anyway, guys are just updating me that there was a lineup, and I'm just gonna see what's happening there as we're moving through into the area. So I gotta keep up along that road, the dusty road, because there's only easy access for us to reach the area here immediately. So it looks like we got them there. So you're asking, with the wild dogs, they ever stay in one place for a long time? So they kind of move around quite a lot, the wild dogs. They don't really stay in one place for a long time unless if they are denning in that area, because then that young one has to stay put in the mound, in the holes, and every time they hunt, and they may return back to this den since it's active. But or if they ever maybe run for too long, when they rest for a little longer. If it's very hot, they may take it easy. But with this morning like this, they may move again. We're just gonna see. So it looks like exactly I saw 3 tracks back there, and then we can still see 3 of them. So it looks like maybe could be more, but we'll find out. If there is more, then they probably will scattered around here in this bush.
hoping that they might cross and come this side.
So I'm not sure which one yet. Which packs are these? So just confirm that these are from Ottawa Sense packs. So this is what has been confirmed. It's so cool to actually see them around here. This one is actually up, probably checking around because it's possible they may hunt while we're with them. So if they're going to make a few steps to the south from this direction, they're going to be crossing over to another property where we cannot follow them. So let's just cross our finger that they stay there. Meat snacks. So you're asking whether a wild dog still in danger. They are in danger. So a lot of time is something to do with their habitat, but also some disease would affect them, as well as a breeding habit as well. So this is one of their things. This one is very much on a lookout. It's gonna go. Looks like they're gonna go back to Djuma, since that one's already made the decision for now. And they're actually speeding up very much. So if they ever do that, we're just gonna see how we're gonna keep this sighting going for us. But they are fast. So, Leon, you're commenting that the wild dog are your favorite. Well, I may very much agree with you. The wild dogs are one of these majestic animals. They're so beautiful and they cooperate, hunter, and they stick together in packs and net to take care of one another, which is cool. So they already move to the slightly north of where they were, and we still got a visual, which is good. We're going to keep them with us. So they hunt by listening to the sound also. They're probably spotted already there. There was a kudu alarm calling. So I'm not going to take time. I'm going to keep up with them because I know it's quite easy to lose them when they're in the hunt. Try get in here. That was a kudu alarm barking. You can still see a visual of a kudu there, but I don't have a dog's visual. One of the incredible hearing and sense of smell kudu, as you can see, these ears are just like a satellite, moving forth back all the time. But they were running in this direction anyway. And that barking sound that we just heard was from the kudu, almost like a dog. She's trying to listen around there. I'm just not sure how many kudu were in the area. May have to drive slightly further in there because we found out maybe then they already moved different way. The dogs. I'm also going to check with the other station whether they appear on the road again. Mike Fender, come in. Okay. So, everybody, you're saying you're hopping for a hunt this morning, and then I think this is what they attempted to do, and then so that's not easy actually for us because of all the brushes thicket here. So, just trying to maneuver around here. Hopefully we find them again and see what they're doing. Just gotta listen, maybe there's more barking around. My radio's been bad actually this morning, so you found out that the guys got them on a far side, and then maybe I just don't hear it.
We're just sitting here in the most perfect spot as the sun is coming up, watching our, well, used to be our male leopard, territorial male leopard, but he's now grooming. The birds are calling, so we're just going to sit here and enjoy these precious moments with him. Isn't he just so magnificent? Oh, Tingana's really given us a show. He's grooming now. It's getting warmer, which is just so ideal for me. I don't know about Tingana. My goodness, you can hear the drone goes up on that dead knobthorn. Sounded like oxpeckers. Yeah, it's oxpeckers as well. The drone goes up there and then the oxpeckers above. Oxpeckers are a really good bird to pay attention to out here. Anna Marie, I know I can't take any credit for it, but definitely beautiful light. It's from the sun, but it's gorgeous. It's perfect, actually. It's when that sun is first coming up, you get that gorgeous sort of golden glow. It's really warm. It's almost like you're on Lightroom and you're pumping up those warm tones. And it's all from the sun. But once the sun starts to get higher, let's just say in an hour's time, it's almost going to become a little bit too harsh. We really found Tingana at the perfect time. And going back to that bloodstain question, I can see it. It's very old, but I can see that pink patch you were referring to now. Now that we've repositioned, there's definitely an old bloodstain on his neck. Well spotted. You spotted that on the spots. Tinky, you've been very kind to us this morning. The minute I woke up and I saw the tracks, I was on my way for coffee, I thought, Tingana's been here. Tingana knows his way through camp. He's not good on foot, We used to do bushwalks here. Tingana is not good on foot. He's not a cat that you can walk on foot. But he's extremely habituated around the vehicles, and that was a process as well. So if you think about it, his name means shy. He was shy when he first came here. He slowly became habituated, and look at him now. He's magnificent. And that's what we were obviously hoping to do with Mulwati, but I think Mulwati's a bit too old now. He's reached that stage of being a dominant male leopard without having been habituated. Whereas Tingana got habituated quite young. So I'm not sure we're ever going to have luck with Mulwati, but we will try. We got very lucky because we're really close to the buffalo cut line. He could have easily crossed out. Love Earth. He normally, every single time I've seen Tingana's tracks through camp, he walks right past the vehicle base, right next to my room and what used to be Tristan's room, now Andrew. There's a little path. He walks there, and then he goes into that drainage behind Galago Pan. And we sat at Galago Pan this morning. We had a few technical issues, but we sat there because I thought this leopard might pop out at the pan. And then we could hear all the bushbucks angrily alarm calling, and it was very frequent. It wasn't just a one-off, it was very, very frequent. And what that tells you is that the leopard's nearby. And they can see it. Then we had to quickly dash to camp, and the minute we came back onto Galago Shortcut, we picked up the tracks. So he takes the same little predictable route through camp, past the vehicles, past the rooms, into the drainage. I wonder if he can hear us all snoring inside the rooms. Did you hear Davi snoring, Tingana? He hears something now, that's for sure. If he does go deeper into this block, though, we may lose him. Wendy's not steering. But if he stays here or goes back onto the road, then it's all good. It's been quite the lucky morning. I'm very happy sitting here with the Duke, and I'm going to send you guys over to Andrew.
So everybody, we managed to relocate, or they did relocate these dogs, and then now only, because this is actually the boundary joined the south and the western boundary, Tripoli M and the Gari Main. So they, if they would cross this road to the west, then they would be heading into Aratusa Game Reserve or property. But, you know, lucky that we still got them. And then they're looking to, maybe they missed the hunting in the middle of the block here when they get out of this thick. Because that kudu was stationary looking around, hoping to get a visual of them, but they probably have missed that. So it is a main road. There's quite a lot of vehicles want to make their way through here because it's on the access road. So hunting methods, they would hunt and they kill, but you know, they chase. This animal, they're a very successful hunter. So they chase non-stop. A lot of time They're killed made by, when they got down, they're killed, it's already exhausted by running so much distance. So they don't give up in chasing. And they were able to share, they compete and they feed all of them at the same time. Nazarene, you're asking how many puppies can the female have at a time? Anything from 7. So, quick link to Lauren.
Oh, well, the moment's over, but a lioness just chased Tingana. I think if we go forward just a little bit... Oh, you've got her well done, Dwarf. He gone. Tingana is gone. I don't know where this lioness appeared from, but she appeared out of nowhere and chased him. This is going to be tricky to maneuver, but let's see if we can reverse a bit, Todd.
Yep.
Wow, that all happened very fast. Guys, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I don't know if we'll be able to find either of them. We will try. Wendy's wheels are just not turning. I can see the lioness. Oh, buffalo! She's facing buffalo. She's chasing the buff. Can you see her, Dove?
Yeah. Sabi, the space for you. Can come and Jack. So I will confirm Tingana chasing Tingana. Yeah, chasing.
Sorry, everyone. I think two sightings have just merged here. I'm going to go forward, Dove. I just need to make sure it's okay for me to be here. She's not going to go for the buffalo on her own. I think this is a lone lioness. Sabello, is that you with the Inyari?
From Lawrence.
We're just going to follow this lioness.
No problem. There's my daughter being with that ran south from where you are. Yeah, but I should himself.
Copy, that was Tingana.
Copy.
Okay. I'm going to try and move. It's just a little bit difficult when Wendy's wheels are not going the way you want them to. But we have got Tingana, lioness, and buffaloes. We're going to try and keep up with our lioness for now and see what happens.
The importance of forests cannot be underestimated. Over 1 billion people live in and around forests, depending on them for fuel, food, medicine, and building materials. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, is the national implementer for a program called LEAF. The LEAF program makes use of indigenous forests grown on school properties to teach pupils about biodiversity. This directly instills a sense of ownership of the natural surroundings and reconnects children with our biomes and heritage. WESA needs your help to bring nature back to schools. Ask your school to join the program through the link on their website. Together with WESA, you can help take this incredible program to schools across the country.
Okay, there's another big male coming in from our left here. Another big male, look at this. This is the one. Now you're going to see sparks fly, guys. Guys, it doesn't get better than this, eh? Yes, unbelievable. Africa, I love you, eh?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Exactly where Tingana was sitting, we now have the Lioness. Hello, beautiful. If anyone can ID her, do let me know. You can see, I don't think it's notched here, but she's missing the sort of tip of her right ear. You'll get a look if she faces the camera. I don't know if this is one of the Talamati lionesses that had been separated yesterday. I had one in the morning and Andrew had one in the afternoon. I'm not sure if it was the same lioness. You just chased my boy. And now I doubt we'll find him again, especially when my wheels are not turning. You see that notch in the ear? Okay, I've been confirmed it's the same one, but what one is that, Jared? I think it's a Talamati lioness. You see, look at that ear. It's really unique. A Talamati lioness. So she's still not reunited with the pride den, and it was the same one that Andrew and I both had. Well, that was unexpected. And there's buffalo. She can't take down a buffalo on her own. Tingana's run straight past the buffalo. The buffalo are now freaking out. There's a leopard and a lion around. But she won't take down the buffalo alone. She's interested, but it's not going to happen. So just moments ago, Tingana was sitting here. Always expect the unexpected, ladies and gentlemen. I thought we were going to have quite a quiet, easy sighting with the Duke. She's gorgeous. Look at that face. Hillary, you're saying she's a beautiful queen. She definitely is stunning, that's for sure. I don't think she quite knows what to do. She's stumbled upon a male leopard who's dashed for the hills. There's buffalo around that she would really love, but she's not got her pride. You've been on your own for 2 days now, girl? Mm-hmm. The chase of Tingana, it wasn't very aggressive. was a dove. It was just chasing him to get him off the mound. It wasn't aggressive. She wasn't trying to attack him. I think Tingana will hide in that drainage now. Earth lover correct. For a multitude of reasons, we see a lot more intraspecific interactions, leopard on leopard, lion pride on lion pride, etc., and inter between the species, lion, leopard, leopard, hyena, wild dogs, lion, and winter's tough. Guys, it's so cold. Sometimes when we go on game drive, we think, oh, it's too cold. And yes, there's a lot of water around this year, and that's one good thing. It's very open. We saw this lioness coming because it is so open, which means it becomes a little bit more difficult for the predators to hunt. The prey see them coming. So that's a challenge. There's also not a lot of young around right now. The lambs are much older, the calves of the wildebeest are much older, even the buffalo young are much older. And therefore, it becomes a lot more of a challenge. Animals are hungry because it's cold, they're hungrier. If you think about it being summer, let's try and go around a bit tough if Wendy will cooperate. What do you think about this way? Okay. Come on, Wendy girl. If you think about some of the cats are flat and full and hot and trying to just escape the heat, whereas winter they're cold, they need to eat in order to keep warm. These animals are hungry, and sort of kleptoparasitism is very, very common in winter, and that's why we're seeing it more. We're also seeing it a lot more because it's open. Now, if you think, if it was summer right now, I don't know if Wendy would make it through this block. It's a very challenging block in winter. But we're getting the chance to view these things because it's also open. So it's a multitude of reasons. Seasonal shift, but you're completely right, Earth lover. Winter brings about fantastic sightings. And we often get asked, what's the best time to come on safari? It does really depend what you're looking for. Let's keep following Dove. But in terms of game viewing and sightings like this, if you can put up with the cold, then winter really delivers. This stint I've had with Tristan has been nothing short of incredible. Really incredible. Okay, we're going to try and keep up with this lioness. Tingana's just vanished. The buffalo are behind us. I do hope our darling Opa comes back soon. Can you see her, Dove? No, neither can I. Where have you gone, Lioness? Magdalene, they would. I mean, it's not that they hunt leopards. Leopards are not their sort of prey that they're looking for. But if they came across a leopard, they absolutely would. There's lots of sort of videos online of these clashes. I saw a video recently of lionesses on a hyena. But that's not their prey, but they absolutely would. Predators would kill one another if they can, and they also kill one another's offspring. And it's sad to see. Any kill is sad, but yes, they would kill a leopard if they got the chance. But she's on her own, remember. I think she's hungry. And she was merely just chasing him off the mound. But we have lost her for now, everyone. We do need to just slowly look through the tawny grass. Lions can be remarkably camouflaged. It's actually the ears and the swooshing of the tail that you're looking for in long grass. It's not actually the body outline, if that makes any sense. Bless me, sorry everyone. Okay, I'm just going to sit tight here for a moment and see if we can pick up on any signs of our lioness.
So we got looks like a dwarf mongoose about to come out of the hole there. But all they do, they're just gonna warm up. Just before they go forage. And it's always a good idea for such small animals like these. Every time when they move out of their hiding, they gotta make sure it's safe outside before all of them can come out. It just looks like such a beautiful mound for them to be. And they're always using an older mound for perch, or probably sleep in there for overnight. Sometimes they can use the same mound, maybe whenever they want, but they always switch. So these dwarf mongoose looks like they all are just about to come out of the mound here. As you can see, all of them, not all of them, but most of them are just warming up. But it looks like it's such a beautiful mound for them to be. And they always use such a mound to sleep overnight, and they would go forage once it's warm enough for them. And they will hunt for various beetles, insects. When they want, they may flask. He's saying they're cute, fuzzy looking things. They are. They browny colors and very shiny coat. They are such a beautiful animals, these creatures. and they always scratch themselves all the time because their body can be itchy because of the ticks they carry during their movement. They can help each other groom or get all of the parasite off their body as well. Lisa, you're asking what are the birds on the background? Maybe you mean a sound. I was not actually listening very well there then. I'll probably let you know now. Got a car driving past by, but what I heard was I saw an oxpecker on the way distances. But there's not much of this sound going. But I saw white-crowned shrikes. Also flew from right in the far end. Maybe that was one making sound. And on the further distance, some gold-breasted bunting. And the closest here was one of the cromback bird, such a small bird that is making that sound. I kept hearing these cromback every now and then, so maybe there was that. But there are quite a lot of mixed birds sound this morning because of the warming that is taking place. Also was a so Triple G is saying sometimes these guys look sneaky and sometimes they look shy. They do that, especially small animals, and when they're not actually cooperate with birds as such as a hornbill and then these drongos, sometimes it's actually very difficult for them to trust what could be around or watching them except for us. So that would make them very nervous sometimes, or wander around, check quite often, or even vanish back to their holes. But when they're with the bird, such as the hornbills, because this bird act as a security, would warn the animals if the danger approach. So the animal will rely on such a bird, and they will be so chill, relaxed that time. It's quite a lot of going on there. One was probably the anal gland. Vocacious. So you're asking what do they eat? So they would eat anything from lizard, snakes, and then they'll eat on beetles, if the beetles are available, and then centipedes, and then they'll eat those. They would dig on the ground for crickets, so they pretty much kind of like insect eaters. They can actually eat meat when they can, but they go for various different insects and such as beetles. So they cooperate. Hunter, this animal, they would surround snake to kill it. Wherever they are, it's trusted that won't be any snake. So they're all member controlled by the pair breeder here, male and a female. So there's a system. And they find in a number of probably 16 up to about 20 animals together. And many of the others, they're just the helpers and taking care of the alpha offsprings when they're up on forage. And these baby left behind with some of the adults. They'll be taking care of them. And it would take turns when their parents arrive, and these helpers, there's only time maybe they go forage, feed, and return back to the den. That time they don't actually manually change mound quite often. And they don't weigh much, 0.3 kg, which is almost like 300 grams. And they're only day animals. They move only during the day and then at night. That's where they make their way into these mounds or any of the hole that is suitable for them to spend the night in there. So before they go far from this home, they would make sure they would go around. So they would mark using the anal gland. So to left they sent quite a few groups into this area. Just can't tell how many groups are there, but it's quite a lot of them. It's so important when they mark their boundaries, and so that got a lot of intrude, which they would make their way into an area where it's not marked. By that, it's a conflict, because then Tora is not very strictly compared to these cats, but they still mark their boundary. If it ever any intruder that would arrive into this group, if they were able to behave very well, then maybe will be welcomed. So I'm gonna see if I maybe will return back to the dogs there, see what they're doing.
We know their names, we see their hands, and we sometimes hear their muffled voice. One thing for sure is that WildEarth wouldn't be possible without the people behind the camera. It is often easy to forget the presence of the camera operator until you seamlessly follow a bird as it swoops through the air. And then you realize that you are the camera. Everything you see is because of a job well done. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer and join Lauren at the fire on Saturday the 31st of July as she chats to David and BK to find out why they do what they do.
Hello everyone, my name is Trishala and I am a naturalist and safari guide here in Djuma Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands in South Africa. I think that the information that we provide, and most importantly the questions that you ask, give both you and I a really good idea of what's going on. My friend Fernando here, he's a flat-necked chameleon and I love them. They're just these gems that you manage to find in the bush.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
I've seen something I've never seen here before. Look at these cubs. One is crossing the river. It's being washed away, unfortunately, but I'm sure the mother is going to save her. Look at that. How beautiful. Look at that. One crossing, two to go. How cool is this?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is Lauren and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed. Now I've made the decision not to go through the block. Wendy's not in a good way. And it's a hairy block, as I already mentioned. They're both still in there. This is a block between Gallagher Shortcut and Aubrey's. Klalamba loves that block. And it's not easy. There's a drainage line that you've got to try and cross as well. So we're just going to do a big loop round and see if anything pops up. It might not. But once a leopard's been chased off by a lioness, it ain't gonna hang around. It'll be either up a tree or hiding in the drainage line. Lionesses can hurt leopards. They don't hunt them actively, but kill, yes. Tingana knows when to flee. It was amazing. We could see the lioness. You can see him react. He's hearing something. He's obviously hearing movement, and immediately he flies off. She chases. What a morning. Very unexpected one. There's Tinky's tracks from last night. Jerome, I believe so. I do believe so. He's obviously slightly stiffer than he used to be, but I believe he still climbs trees. I don't know if he hoists. I've noticed Tandy's not hoisting as much, but that could be down to a number of factors, so I don't know if Tingana hoists his kills. but I think he definitely climbs trees. I mean, we saw him get on that log the other week, Davi and I, and he was so agile, and he definitely climbs trees. One of the first things I sort of learned out here was you can't really say a predator is losing condition as such. It may not be as big or have as much muscle, or maybe even be as fast, but that's normal. We all know what it feels like to get old. But saying an animal is losing condition, a predator would not survive out here losing condition. If a predator really, really was losing condition, then it's the end. It really is the end. Hold on just a moment. I mean, Tingana got very sick for a while. Or it appeared that way. We don't quite know what was wrong. And that was back in the day when Hook really took advantage of that and pushed in. Hook was expanding his territory and trying to take over. And then Tingana bounced back and reclaimed what was his. But if you really think a predator is seriously losing condition, then it's the end. It was like that lioness that Darby and Trishala had one day on Triple M. Really, really ill lioness, and we never saw her again. She was losing condition, and it's the end. Now we're on Aubrey's. I don't know if we're going to get lucky, but we may as well try. I thought we were going to sit all morning with Tingana. I thought we had it sorted. I don't think he was planning on going anywhere either, but you know. It's not a case of the pride leaving a lioness behind. That's not the way I would phrase it. Lionesses can choose to go off on their own, or they can just choose not to follow the pride. If the pride is moving, you either move with them or you don't. So I would switch that, if that makes sense. The pride don't leave anyone behind. The pride moves as a unit, a collective unit. And lionesses can choose to go off on their own. We saw that a lot in Namara. They can choose not to follow for a multitude of reasons. But this particular lioness has been on her own for 2 days now. I'm not actually entirely sure if she was there when Davi and I had the pride at Chitwa. Maybe she just chose not to follow. Maybe she got scent of something and went to investigate. You've either got to keep up with the pride or you are on your own. But they reunite through audio, contact calling. The pride will call for her and she will call for the pride. It is normal for lionesses to be on their own sometimes. Now it happened in here, a little bit further north though. But if anybody has ran this way, we should be able to see their tracks on the road. And if we don't see their tracks, then they're still in the block. There's no point in bashing through a block and getting stuck if the animal is already long gone and crossed out of that block. Really know what you mean by that. Do I think Mareeves will grow into another Tingana? Maybe FC can clarify. I mean, Mareeves will become a dominant territorial male, if that's what you mean, absolutely. 100%. He's already very habituated. Here's the buff. Okay, we are going to go and try and get into the buff. Okay, I really don't know what you are referring to, but he's already habituated. So I think he will remain habituated, just like Hosanna has. I think he will always be familiar with vehicles. Size, I have no idea. I mean, it's not really likely that Tingana is the father, but we don't know that. I'm just going to go up ahead, Darby. There's quite a few nice ones standing by the road here. And I think Mareeves will become a big territorial male. Of course he will, but I'm not sure what you mean. But we have come across some buffalo. So this was a large herd then. Hello, guys. You've had quite the morning. Seeing a leopard and a lion. You look like you've had that type of morning as well. I think this is a really large herd that actually extends through both of these blocks. WildEarth on lock with the Inyari on Aubrey's Road. There's many of them here. That says had 3 of the big 5 in one morning. Nathan, they're very relaxed, he's buff. It might have not been these individuals. We're actually on Aubrey's now. The sighting that we had was quite far east. So this herd could extend really, really far. So it might not necessarily have been these individuals that encountered the lioness. But with this number of buffalo, one lioness does not stand a chance. And the buffalo know it. A pride, on the other hand, that would cause a bit of panic. But one lioness really wouldn't. And they know that buffalo do defend themselves, and they are equipped with the weapons on top of their head. And they're huge, really large animals. Got safety in numbers, strength in numbers. So one lioness doesn't stand a chance. I don't actually know where the Talamatis are this morning. I don't believe they've been called in. I will need to get on the radio, but I don't know where they are. But she needs to meet up with her pride again. A breeding herd of buffalo, you've really got nothing to worry about. They are relaxed. But there's a lone dagger boy at Chitwa right now, and he looks very old, very... He looks like he's in pain. His body hurts. He's the type of character you want to avoid being too close to. But a breeding herd, they're normally very relaxed. Leo, you're right. I wonder if it's even the same herd. I'm speculating. I could never possibly conclusively say that. But we have been seeing big herds, mega herds, you would call them. They're not a small number of buffalo here, that's for sure. My goodness, it extends all the way west. There was technically 3 sightings that all converged this morning. Buffalo, lioness and leopard all into one. Mayhem. This is an older bull here, not quite a Dagoboy stage, but this is a big bull. Juju, yes they are. The horns are made from bone. And when you see a buffalo skull, you can see that. But they are covered with layer upon layer upon layer of keratin, which is an extremely strong material in the animal kingdom, including us. But once you strip away all that keratin, then that will biodegrade once the sort of buffalo passes. And you look at a buffalo skull, you see the horns and the horn boss, that part on top, it's bone. This boy is huge. Tingana's been chased by lionesses quite a few times. Was it not you and Tristan Dwarf that had that sighting with Tingana that got chased by the pride?
Could have been.
I think it was. I can remember it. He's been chased a few times. These predators all know each other. It's definitely not the first time that Tingana's been chased by a lioness, that's for sure. Luckily it was only one.
My brother Dwarf here on Chin Dams.
I need to start taking my layers off soon. It's warming up extremely nicely. I have a ridiculous amount of layers on. Yeah, I'm also thinking the same, Dob. How would you like me to reposition? Should we go back to these guys?
Yeah, we can.
We can pop our nose in. I just don't want to drive too close to this bull. He won't harm us, but... Okay, we're going to reposition because there are buffalo everywhere. We'll try and get some better views for you all.
So we're also still bumbling around. There was no space in those dogs yet. Just keep listening to the radio. If that log will be still going, maybe we're going to return there if once is a space. I think it was not easy for everybody to get to that sighting this morning because it's on a main road and it's only a road that everybody can use. So it was out of control somehow. Yeah. So I'm gonna check between them and that area. Oops. Hold on. Just gonna go see if we drink him here for us.
Two seconds, everyone. Copy, copy. Good luck. Just updating everyone on the radio. We've repositioned and there's buffalo everywhere. Buffalo Kingdom. I haven't had a buffalo sighting in a while, actually. I can't exactly tell through my binos, but you see that big, I think it's a male over there, dove, on the far left. Big, huge boy. Is that a scar with blood, or am I... It's difficult to tell. I'm looking through my binos. It looks like a scar for sure. It's very, very pink. I don't think it's a fresh one, though. It's difficult to tell behind the grass. But you'll see a lot of buffaloes with lots of scars. Sometimes it's just general scars from fighting or injuries, vegetation. But if you see the sort of big scars, it'll be from the lions that they've escaped. Lions do jump on, they do try to claw, and the buffalo really do fight back. I find them quite peaceful to watch. Okay, we're going to sit with this herd a little bit longer, and then I may, towards the end of drive, scratch around for Lioness or Tingana, but for now, over to Andrew.
Good luck, Lauren, finding Leopard or Lioness. So we got two bulls, elephants, right in front of us at the moment by Twin Dam. They just finished drinking, looks like it. They're looking at their trunk tip end, it's wet, so they were, I think, drinking there. This one is very interested in visiting us. Can see clearly. Here's the skin. And all the full growing males over here are these one. But they're still gonna carry on and grow up. So that one is doing a dust bathing there. That's what they do. They get themselves dirty by sand, by mud. That's the only way to get off these flies. Sometimes they may get irritated by these flies pretty much. Since they just have drank water, maybe later on again they would visit another watering hole, depending on where they're going. But there's a treehouse dam where they're moving in there. They will maybe finally end up there. Losing visual of them, and then what I will do, I'll try see if maybe I'll stick with them, because we're in an area where signal is not actually very stable. Yeah, so we'll find out. You're saying you love watching them doing their dust bath. It's so cool when you see them do that, because they do that in such an amazing way, sucking these dust soil into their trunk, blow it off. There we've got another one here on the way, right inside. The trunk itself could do so much. It's well trained. For that, it's got to have a lot of muscles. The elephant able to use it. Estimated around about 40 to 60 over the muscles that would be in that trunk. And it's a nostrils in the same time. So we're just going to take a silent moment, listen to these animals. So, comment from Zhao is saying it's super amazing to watch. Indeed it is. Just to watch, see how it does this. But he's done now, so he's probably going to move across on front of us. That was a trumpet. I'm not sure what happened. And a happy elephant somewhere around here. Just gonna move forward, keeping losing the visual. So I'm gonna just watch, but if they disappeared into these bushes, then we're gonna try look for something else.
One thing that WildEarth strives to achieve is to connect kids with our natural world. One person who agrees with this is Kate, an 11-year-old girl who founded Kids Can Save Animals to help inspire her generation to help mend the planet. Her motto is that kids may be young, but age does not define your impact. Kate is coming all the way from America to join us at Djuma for a live safari. She wants to connect with all of the WildEarth kids, answer your questions, and help you understand that there are plenty of ways that you can make a difference regardless of your age. So join us on the 4th of August at 2:30 p.m. Central African Time for a very special kids safari. As one of the industry's best and Fagasa endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
You are cheeky. That was a brave decision. Amber Eyes is... Oh. That is so magic. That was absolutely wonderful. Amber Eyes just gave that cub an enormous hug.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
We're still sitting here thoroughly enjoying our beefalo sighting. I think if I had to choose the funniest faces made by animals out here in the Lowveld, it's the buffalo. They make me laugh sometimes. Yes, you guys do. And they are remarkable animals, and sometimes I feel they don't get credit for it. A lot of species that are the prey of predators sometimes don't get recognized for being the remarkable species that they are. They just get known as the prey, when actually they're organisms within themselves with their own little world. They just happen to sometimes get eaten by lions or leopards or wild dogs, whatever predators you may be speaking about. But buffalo are remarkable. They put up a really good fight when they can, and they do have excellent senses. So within themselves, their remarkable sense, their primary sense is smell. They use smell to find the food, the delicious vegetation that they want to eat, and detect predators. They're very inquisitive, and they'll come up to you with their noses outstretched because they're trying to understand what you are through their nostrils. They can see and they can hear. I mean, look at those ears. But those two sightings are not as well developed as their nostrils. They also use their sense of smell, I guess, to communicate socially within the herd, leaving olfactory clues for one another. That's how they communicate with each other. So when you figure out what the primary sense is, then you know how they communicate with one another. Yes, they are vocal, yes, and they do see 100%, but it's the nose. It's really the nose. That's how they communicate with one another. Vocal communication is absolutely significant, and you hear those bellows, cow-like bellows. It sounds just like cows. They constantly sort of make those bellow sounds, and that's to remain in contact with the herd, especially when this herd is so large. It's extending from the western side of Aubrey's all the way into the Gallagher shortcut block, if that makes any sense to you all. It's a really large herd. So they use these sounds to remain in constant communication with each other, but to communicate, they use olfactory clues. All comes down to that chemical world that we are so oblivious to. Rochelle, you're saying they're silently judging us all, or at least this one is. Look at those eyes. Yes, you're completely right. We are being judged. Judging the state of Wendy, my driving skills, and all of you guys on the back of my safari vehicle. And I show you this impala horn a lot. I always keep it with me. I don't know why. It's not a buffalo horn, I know that, but it's the similar concept here to, I got asked that question. This is the bone component of the impala horn. You can see the bone goes really intricately inside there. All bone. I'm going to turn this to the side off, and you'll see that the brown stuff here, which is really hard, I can't even get this apart with my fingers. This is the keratin. And it's not just one layer, it's layer upon layer. It's striated and it's also ridged. Now this is for the impalas, naturally, when they lock horns. But just if I turn it, you can see here. This is where the keratin starts to build on bone. And that's exactly the same for buffalo horns. Different size, different shape, yes, I know that. But it's the same fundamental components. Bone with keratin on top for these guys right here. And keratin's in our fingernails and our hair. It's quite a fashionable word now when you go to the hairdressers. Oh, keratin. But it is what makes up our hair. And our hair is really strong, if you think about it. We damage it a lot through dyes and straighteners and products, my goodness. But really, at the end of the day, if you take a healthy strand of hair, it's actually quite hard to break apart. And our fingernails, they can get brittle due to our diet and whatnot, but at the end of the day, they're very strong. And that's keratin. I mean, they do estimate combat, especially in males, head-on collisions with two buffalo bulls. The impact of such combat would be likened to a car hitting a brick wall at around 50 kilometers per hour. Oof. That's what the sort of impact is on the horn bosses between two males. That's incredible, thinking of that power, that force. So lions have got to be careful. When lions do take down a buffalo, it's not easy. They could also get seriously injured. Dr. Rocky Balboa, I haven't heard your name in a while. It's definitely not one that I'll forget. You're laughing at those ears, I know. Just, they hang so low and so awkwardly to the side. Especially in the females, and we do get asked often, how do you tell the difference? And I read some articles that say, oh, the coloration. Really? I mean, the difference between a male and female buffalo when it's standing up is unmistakable. Just look exactly where you're supposed to look and you cannot miss it. The genitalia is really quite astounding. And if you haven't got a view of the genitalia, you can sort of look. The facial shape and the horn shape is completely different. Females are generally, as females normally are across most mammals, smaller, daintier. But really, I would not be looking at coloration, that's for sure. Buffalo bulls, you cannot miss a buffalo bull, and if you do, then you need to clean your glasses. I'm always surprised when I read that. Maybe there is a slight coloration difference. I never notice it. There's definitely a coloration difference in the young. Got some youngsters over here, Dov. I don't know, it's definitely a bum shot, but they're not small calves. But you can see they're a lot more chestnutty brown, a much more richer color, like a yummy piece of chocolate. And as they get older, they sort of lose that rich brown color and they go into a really drab, dull, nondescript brown. But between the sexes, I really don't see that. This one's suckling, Dov. If you just go to the right, again, I think there's a tree in the way, but you see that? Sweet. Precious moment. They really do look after their young as much as they can. They really try to herd their young into the middle at all times to be protected, because the young, they make for easy targets. Many of you are seeing the sucklings quite aggressive. I don't think I would say aggressive, but rather painful looking, yes. A lot of yanking going on there. Ouchie. As the calves get bigger, it does become a lot more awkward. We're both mother and calf, but I agree. Slightly painful looking. Okay, this is such a delightful sighting. We're going to stay here just a tad longer.
So we have left our elephants. They have went into so much thick, and then we're just gonna do another bumble around here. I was trying to confirm with the dogs what they will be doing there in the guys. And since it's the boundary, so it happens they jump the boundary to the west, and then last time I checked, it was not visual from the boundary itself. But we're in the area, we may find out that they maybe come back to the boundary. So I'm scanning my radio just to keep listening to the guys if they still have them there. Is a rock monitor lizard coming out of the hole. First things in the morning is always so important for such animals like these. To check whether it's safe before they can travel far away, that they will know exactly what is happening around them. And they're actually avoiding getting hunted by eagles and this. So we've got a rock monitor lizard just about to come out of that holes, I think. We're slipping into this hole here because they sleep in holes at night and they only forage during the day, but not when it's colder still. So now it's getting warm, so it's only time they will stick their heads out just to check the temperature or so for the safety before they move off. They will forage around here. Venus, you're asking with their poisonous. They're actually not really poisonous. Haven't heard of them biting anyone, but they have a self-defense, which is they use tail. They can actually bite as well. But whether they have bacteria and how strong are these bacteria they have, I'm not sure though. So they are land creatures, which is, I know we keep seeing a lot of time the Nile water monitor lizard, which is that one always in the water or basking. And when it stands around near the water, hunt around the water, they can get out of the water, not a problem. But this one permanently in a dry land. And it seems small compared to the Nile water one in size. So this very one, the rock one, would weigh anything from 12 Kesha, so you're asking how long can it go without the water? I actually haven't seen them drink water, the rock monitor lizard. So I think they can go for long. They can, I think, drink, but I haven't actually come across them drink water. So that means maybe they can go for many of days without drink. And I don't want to be in a group, really. Even there's other one, the Nile one, water, they don't really be in a group. They always alone. If there are two, maybe male and a female there at the same time. And this one, the fully grown, probably weigh anything from 12 to 15 kg, where the water monitor lizard weigh more than that, 12 to up to 20 kg though. And that one out there get bigger in size. So in length, this can get up to 150 centimeter, where the water monitor lizard can get up to 200 centimeter long. So their tongue's pretty much like also a snake. It's kind of a frog, but very long. And they use them when they're on search. They locate one another through pheromone. And they would stick those tongues to sense. Every time they pull their tongue back into these Jacobian organ sense, the top plate is where the olfactoids are located. They're able to deduct the message would be left behind by the partners. So, seeing your comment saying that he has a very cool tree house. Indeed it is. Look at that there. It looks like also safe as well. And no leopard can get there. But when they're out forage, they would be vulnerable to such eagles, leopards, even maybe lions. But mainly those martial eagles will deal with this such a lizard. And they would probably lie about 30 soft-shelled eggs, which is they go to kind of sandy mound area, and you see them excavate the ground in order to lay those eggs. So everybody's saying that. So the color, it just matched the tree. So it does. For survival, camouflage and the point of view is so important. You gotta need such a color there. So if it's an eagle here, wouldn't really spot that creature so well because it just looked like that tree. So hopefully it will come out while we are around here, otherwise we're going to move around, search for anything else.
Suspended above Kenya's Masai Mara is a breathtaking lodge where unrivaled service goes hand in hand with extraordinary wildlife sightings. Ngala Mara offers a quiet place where guests have the opportunity to reconnect with the world again. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer before the end of July, and you and a friend could win a 3-night stay at this award-winning lodge. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, encourages people to care for the earth. Through innovative projects, they aim to reverse the serious issues that we face in the world today. One of these projects is Green Coast, a proudly South African award for sensitive and well-managed coastal sites. This sustainability project protects our national coastlines while providing unemployed youth with a love for their environment and a hope for the future. WESA is a membership and volunteer-supported organisation. Every supporter is helping to change the only earth we have. Visit our website to see how you can help care for our earth.
Oh, it's going to be in trouble now. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. Here comes a hippo in too. Go, Impala. There's a hippo coming in. I can't believe what we're seeing here. This is what we normally see in East Africa. It's all over. Hippo leaping at the crocodile now. Everything's gone underwater.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth Daily.
We have left the buffalo just because I wanted to do one more loop to see if we can see any signs of Lioness or Tingana popping back out. That would really help us for this afternoon. I think Lioness will still be mobile, and I really hope she's going north. I think that's where the pride are. I naturally want her to reunite with the pride. And the Talamatis are traveling far and wide these days. There's Lioness tracks going this way, but I don't entirely know if they're from that Lioness. I'm not sure if they're fresh. I cannot get the zip down. There we go. That's better. Staffy's doing the same. It's getting hot. You put on so many layers to keep warm, and then immediately you think, oh no. So Jared, do you have any questions for me? I'm ready for them. As we look for this Lioness, I'm going to answer your questions. Amanda, I don't know. Africa's a very large continent. I would imagine so, yes. I would absolutely imagine so. Especially around cattle and domestic animals, strays, especially so, yes. I do think they have to deal with that. I'm just scanning quarantine. Necessarily get chased out of the herd when it comes to buffalo. Sorry everyone, I'm going to have to take my jacket off, but Davi will give you some beautiful views of quarantine. It's getting very, very hot. They don't get chased, but buffaloes, they sort of reach their reproductive peak, and it's all to do with rank. And therefore, the bigger you are, the older you are, the stronger you are, you will sort of lead the way, if you like. Then once you get older, naturally, what we were chatting about earlier, you do start to... There we go, that's a little bit better. I'm overheating here, y'all. And they do start to lose condition, exactly what we were talking about, get a little bit weaker. They are naturally older, and they won't be able to compete with the big younger boys anymore. They do have a rank system. They do have a hierarchy among the bulls. So the older boys step away from the herd. They start to leave. They can't compete. They're getting past their reproductive peak now. They're not so interested in the females. The females are definitely not interested in them. The big boys are there now. They're not chased out the herd, but they do leave the herd, and they start their sort of nomadic existence. Or in small little groups of dagger boys, the old boys, the grumpy boys. You can spot them a mile away, really. If you see a buffalo, just take a quick look at it and you'll know that it's an old dagger boy. So most dagger boys, they know they can't compete anymore. They have that knowledge. They don't have that drive anymore. I would imagine, but I don't actually know this for sure, that their testosterone levels also decrease and they just leave. It's an easier life just to take it easy. Maybe can't even keep up with the herd as much. And you tend to find the old dagger boys around water holes a lot because there's water, naturally. They can wallow, which is really good for their sore skin and their joints and their muscles. It feels good. And the vegetation around water bodies is generally a lot softer, a lot more palatable, because there's a lot more moisture in that area. So you tend to find the old dagger boys around water holes. But I don't believe they're chased out. They just can't keep up anymore. Okay, let's see what we can... I've only came this way because I do see those Lioness tracks. I don't actually know. if she's coming that way. She's really lost that lioness. I'm gonna need to take this second jacket off soon. I put 3 jackets on in the morning. 3. Well, 2 fleecies and a jacket. Davi's taking his off, making me jealous, yeah. Okay. I am going to start peeling back the layers, literally. I'm going to send you guys over to Andrew.
So, we now got looks like a mix of male impalas here. It happens also the female on the far end, but they're already in thick bushes. But the area now where we are checking, it's actually a higher point ground. You all feel the winds coming through too much. And then that Kalamba, it was no visual of her since she was seen around the dam coming south from there. So we thought we could check around here, but we got impalas now, but just to see how they react, which they don't really look threatened. So these are the male that are always pushed off from the high rim by the dominant male. All they do, they're just gonna stick aside just a little bit distances. While the dominant male is all taking care of their all females in that group. Oops, rain. This is good because they're heading that way, so if there's anything from our right in terms of a cat, this is where the cat will show up, trying to follow them. Asking, will all animals get their winter coat? No, they only get used to the weather, such as a winter, and the summer as well. But this coat of these animals, it's so cool that all animals, they would be fluffy when it's too cold, so they would provide such a warmer. And then when the warmer rise, such as an impala, they will look shiny when you see them in the morning, and they're fluffy. And with the cats, most of these animals with very thin skin, a lot of hair on their body, they would also do the same. Kalamba, when we're in need for you. Wherever she is, I'm not sure what she's doing. Maybe she's got a kill. Maybe she just move off. Have moved far away from here permanently. Or whether she's still around but out of reach for us. So I'm gonna check around now, approaching quarantine. In the meantime, let's go over to Lauren.
got all my layers off now, thank goodness. It's definitely not as cold. Maybe the cold front is leaving us and we're just going to go back to normal winter that doesn't require those extremely cold temperatures. Now we're on quarantine. Just seeing if we can see any last minute signs of anybody. What a fantastic morning it turned out to be. Dogs, Tingana and a Talamati lioness. And buffalo. And elephants. Wow, it's been a lucky one, that's for sure. And our radios are working again. All is good. Come on, last minute animal, where are you? We don't have an animal, but we do have Dwarf. That big thing in the sky that's also called the moon. I love seeing the moon in the day. You can just see it there. It's amazing. Full moon was just a few nights ago. The ambient light was incredible. And now we're back to 71.2% according to my app. Still in the waning gibbous phase, but would you look at that? And the time has come, everyone. What a fantastic morning bumble. The sunset safari has come to an end. I mean the sunrise, sorry, but there's always a sunset. Thank you everyone for jumping on board. It's always an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. Please do join us this afternoon. Until then, take care.